Hey guys, and welcome to the video. So anyone can do a body transformation, but what happens after? So anyone can follow a plan, anyone can follow a diet, anyone can follow calorie counting or points counting, but what happens after? What happens after the period of time that you've done it or the length of the diet? So many people say to me, I'm going to do this diet and when I lose the weight, I'll just continue. But being realistic, does that actually happen? And you tell me, because a lot of you, this has happened to. So when you lose the weight and when you feel a bit better about yourself, do you stick with what you were doing? Or do the bad habits start to slip back in and do you start to go backwards? So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. And before I get into it, anyone that suffers with cravings and emotional eating and just not knowing what to do to lose weight, I have a free group on Facebook just for women, where I do weekly videos and weekly help on how to lose weight sustainably and keep it off for good. So if you would like to join that, that is down there in the description below. But for now, let's get into the video. So something that people say to me all the time is, I'm good for a while, but then it all goes to And this is what happens with a lot of diets that are structured and have a set period of time. So the reason that is because they are kind of feeding into your all or nothing mindset. So this makes the diet very black and white. So you feel because it's a set period of time, you can be good for that while. Like you can be totally on it and be precise with everything you're doing. You can put a lot of energy into it because you can see that end point. You can see like the relief at the end. You can see where you're going to have to, or you can see where you get to stop doing all this thing and have a rest from doing it. But of course, that's a problem if you're trying to lose weight, right? Especially if throughout the process, you've given up things, including food you like, and going out to social events, because of course, you're just waiting for the time when you can do these things again. And like I said before, you often tell yourself, oh, when I reach my desired weight or when I lose a bit of weight, I'll keep going and keep doing it. But realistically, is that going to happen? No, because you're depriving yourself of all these things that you can't wait to do again. So it's a very, very unsustainable way of trying to lose weight. And another really important thing to consider and think about is your weight loss coming from the desperation mindset of, do you need to lose weight to feel worthy? Are you doing it because you don't feel enough? And are you telling yourself things like, when I lose weight, I'll be happy. When I lose weight, I'll be able to do this. When I lose weight, this, that, or the other. This is the desperation mindset. You need to lose weight to feel enough, and you need to lose weight to have self-worth. So if this is happening to you, you are going to make bad choices and you're going to make decisions out of desperation, and it comes from the need to do it. When you need to do something, then you don't think clearly and you want things as fast as possible, and you're affected by the results a lot. So if you step on the scale and don't see the number you want to see, it feeds back into your emotions and how do you feel. And of course, then that affects your motivation and you're all over the place, which of course is not great if you want to have a clear path to getting up every day with clarity over what you need to do and feeling good about the process. So most people do put weight back on because of this all or nothing, perfectionism, black and white mindset, where they're totally on it. And then when they get to the end point, they end up totally off it. They don't do anything in between because they've not learned about how to do that, make decisions around food. And so it's this yo-yo dieting effect of, I do the diet, I go back to how I was before, put the weight back on, feel bad again, do another diet, which of course is not happiness and is not gonna make you feel fulfilled in life. Just continuously dieting and then binging over and over again undermines how you feel about yourself and just doesn't lead to a very nice life. What you need is an approach that works for you 365 days a year and for the foreseeable future, like for the rest of your life. If you cannot do what you're doing for the rest of your life, then it's the wrong approach for you. And it also needs to be free of these things that make the precision mindset. So things like counting calories, counting points, weighing food. this is too much to do. Adds stress, and you can't do it in all situations. So when you can't do it, you don't do it. So obviously it's not very sustainable. So the way I do it, I've talked about this in other videos before, with my clients is we use visual portion sizes so that it takes away from the point, the calories, the weighing of food, which is so stressful, and still gets great results. And also, of course, including things that you enjoy in your diet as well. But also having the mindset around the fear, because a lot of people fear, if I'm not precise and like totally on it, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm not going to get results. But in actual fact, you get better results because you can sustain it for longer, and you don't need to be precise to the nearest gram of food or calorie or point, because our bodies are continuously adapting, using more or less energy all the time. So you don't need a set amount of calories per day, because you're using different amounts of energy per day. So being precise enough but rough at the same time, using eyeball visual portion sizes, is a great way to do it, because it just works. And you can do it everywhere. You can do it out and about, you can do it at home, you can do it in the supermarket. And so you don't need to take a weighing scale with you, you don't need to count points, you don't need to log into an app, you don't need to worry about if you've gone over or under, because you're not thinking about those minute details that add all this extra thinking and stress and contribute to this 24/7 thinking about food, which is what dominates your mind and takes you away from living like a happy life. And you need to fall in love with the process of doing the things you need to get the life you want. And you need to make it not an option to never do these things. So the consequences of doing or not doing these things needs to be big enough for you to think, there's no way I'm not going to do this in my day. And I love doing it because I get the emotional reward for doing these things that make my life amazing. So I love doing it, and there's just no option for not doing it. And also being super clear in what that entails. What will you do? How will you live? What decisions you will make? And why do you want it in great detail? Like, what will you have in your life? How will your life be? What will you do? How will your relationships be with your friends, family, and significant others? How will your life be? Your career? How will your hobbies be? How will everything be? And just clarity on what you want, rather than what you're trying to run away from and how you hate your life and what's pushing you to change. You need to know what you're aiming for, and you need to have this like dream future that you actually want to excitingly move towards. And to expand this further, who do you need to be? So life is a byproduct of who you are. So who do you need to be to get the life you want? So if you were that person already, you'd have the life you want. So rather than thinking so much in terms of what you need to do, who do you need to be as a person to have the life you want? So I'll say that again. If you were already that person, you'd have that life. So think about, who do you need to be? How do your actions need to be? How do you need to think? What kind of person are you? And living like that, that will get you towards, or that will get you what you want. And when you live like this, your outcome is guaranteed. Of course, there will be obstacles. Of course, there will be problems along the way, but you know how to deal with them, and you will deal with them. So failure is part of success. It's not the opposite to it. You need to confront things that are problems and solve them to move that step forward. And no journey is just a straight line with a clear path. You have to expect obstacles, and obstacles are good because it's a problem presenting itself to you for you to solve, to make that next step. So embrace them, be grateful that they presented themselves to you, because someone without problems is not moving forward. Think about it. If you don't have anything to solve, it means you're not taking action. It means that you're not doing anything. So the fact that you take action and find the problems means you can then solve them and move that one step forward closer to your goal. So living like this and knowing the person you need to be and knowing that you will get to your goal, you don't know when because different people have different problems to solve, but takes away that desperation of, yeah, I'll get there and I know who I need to be. And I love the process. I love doing it because it's the journey and not the destination. And when I do get to my destination, I'll have another goal. and another journey to go on. And it's that journey that builds the person that I am. And I love the steps, and I love doing the things that lead me there, because this gives me the confidence. I follow through on my values. I do really cool things. And that's what you get when you enjoy life. Seeing the details and enjoying the process and doing the things that conform to your values and lead to this amazing world around that you have. The people, the things, and the achievements. So that's it for today. Quite a deep one. But yeah, any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. What do you find your biggest struggles with your weight loss at the moment? Feel free to ask me, and I'm happy to answer any questions that people do have in the comments. But for now, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you haven't done already. And yeah, see you next time.